Hi, it's Patrick Iyampillai here with another episode of One Hale of a podcast. Hale Law Accident Attorneys, local podcast. We're here to bring you local stories and local good people like my friend Chris Williams, our guest for today. He is the CEO and director of Aginto, a local ad agency, digital marketing agency, if you will. They handle SEO, paid ads, and they'll help you with your overall online strategy. Chris, welcome to the podcast show.
Thanks for having me, P. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Chris, let's start off with just something about you. What's a fun fact about yourself? I know some, but
A fun fact.
tell our guests.
Okay, fun fact. At least fun to me is I've been all over the world as I'm an Army brat, and so like I lived in Germany and in Texas and all these different places. But I'll say fun fact. As a 6-year-old, I was lost for over an hour in Germany.
In Germany?
In Germany, yeah. Mom was tripping. She was not happy.
How'd you handle that?
I mean, I walked to where I was supposed to go as a 6-year-old. I made it home safely, but the military police were there, and Mom was letting the bus driver. She was letting him have it, So it was yeah. I thought it was funny,
Wow.
but she did not. So
That's amazing.
yeah, man. Yeah,
I feel bad for your mom, but
yes, we're good.
nothing bad happened.
Nothing bad happened to me. I made it.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, Chris, I know you have a amazing story about how you got from, where you were to here today.
Yes, sir.
Do you mind sharing with our listeners about that?
Yeah. I sure. I started Aginto in 2011. The beginning-ish of 2011, end of 2010, I found myself homeless. And it wasn't like, never been a drug user. I don't even consume alcohol, man. So it was just bad decisions and, just not making good decisions as a young man-ish. I was probably 29, I think, at the time. And, I found myself on the streets, slept in my car a little bit, and then moved into a motel. You pay by the week type of motels, not the Ritz-Carlton.
Gotcha.
Yeah, pay by the week type deal. And um I'll also add the note, my daughter turned 14 yesterday. And so if you do the math and you work backwards, I've got one on the way, right? I'm living in my car. I got no money, no job, and one on the way. My only child on the way. So it was, I'd like to tell you that it was you can do this and you got this, but it was more of you better figure something out, dude. You know what I mean? So I knew how to code, right? I grew up kind of playing with code and building little websites or whatever, and I knew how to sell, at least, I wasn't afraid to get kicked out of a place, and so I started going business to business. Like, hey, Mr. Jones, you don't have a website. Your competitor does. I'll build that for you. $500. Hey, Mrs. Jones, you have a website. I'll build that for you. $600. Whatever. And just on and on and on. And, one client turned into 2 and into 5 into 10. And the business, of course, evolved as well, to where we're full service now. So we offer and anything a business needs digitally to make the phone ring, we do. But back then it was just me and an old ThinkPad laptop. And, I'll also say shouts out to the Goodwill, because what I did to make ends meet is I got a night shift job at the Goodwill. So I'd work midnight to 8 a.m. At the Goodwill, and then, clean myself up in the bathroom and go over to Starbucks and sit and build websites and stuff like that, and then go home, sleep, do it all over again. I was probably at the Goodwill for 18 months or so, maybe 2 years, something like that. And till I reached the point where I didn't need that anymore. The business was growing, and over the years, man, we've just continued to grow and evolve and add new services, add new team members. There's 10 of us now, and I don't know that I want to be much bigger. You got a lot of employees running around here.
I do. I do.
I see him in the hall, man. That's a lot of personalities to manage. I don't know, but been blessed. Been blessed for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an incredible story,
I
man.
appreciate you, man. Thank you.
I got to know more.
All right.
What was the biggest motivating factor, or just kind of what pushed you every single day to just keep going?
Yeah, I mean, back then it was that grace was on the way, right? I was only here in Florida because she was on the way here. I'm from Cincinnati. I mean, I'm happy here now, but back then I just want to be home, Um, but I wanted to be close to where she was. I wanted to put food on the table and provide, and yeah, I wanted to put food on my own table too, So partly, partly my daughter, but man, hunger will make you work. You know what I mean? Like when you don't know where dinner's coming from, like literally. Um, yeah, you'll go out and work 12, 15, 18, 20 hours if you're gonna get dinner at the end of the day if you don't have it. So, and then my motivations have evolved over the years. I'll give you an example. We're neighbors. I'm in the building, so before you moved in years ago, there was another agency in your suite, and I have to pass your suite on my way out. You've got a glass door. It's always been a glass door, and so sometimes I would be tired at the end of the day. It'd be 6 o'clock, 6:15, and I'd pack up and go to leave, and their lights would be on. I'd have to walk past their door, and I'd see their lights on. I'd go, no. I'd turn right back around and go back and work longer, like and try to oh, you can't outwork me, whatever. So different seasons or whatever have had different motivations, and I try to look for that, whatever that what Bradford Smith moment is for me, whatever that motivation in the sky is for me in that time. I just try to grab it and chase it.
That's amazing. That's just amazing.
Thanks, man.
Oh, and as an entrepreneur, I also really uh, love to hear about that hustle from the get go.
Yeah.
Um, what what gave you that know how on how to sell yourself, sell the business when you were just starting off and
Yeah.
didn't have any clients?
Um, man, particularly when I started, like I knew how to code, right? But I wasn't like the best in the world or something, right? Now when I walk into a room, like I feel like I'm the best, right? But back then it was more of a what's the alternative? What's if I can walk into this door to Mr. Jones's office and he can tell me to get the hell out, which sometimes they did. That's the worst that can happen here, right?
Right.
Or I can go hungry. What are you gonna choose, man? You gonna roll the dice? Maybe Mr. Jones will listen to you, maybe not. But if not, I'm gonna go to the next door. Um, so I'd love to tell you I was just confident in my skills, but now at the time there was no confidence. It was just like, what's the what's the alternative here? If you don't get off your, can I cuss on this? If you don't get off your ass and do something, um, how are you ever gonna provide? How are you ever gonna, find a place to live? How are you ever gonna afford this, afford that? Um, it was just a up against the wall type of mentality or type of situation, I guess. Luckily, I responded, but I'd be lying to you if I told you that if I said that it was inherent. Like, yeah, I don't know that I was like um, raised with it or I mean born with it. I don't think that you're necessarily born with it. I think you just kind of learn over time. Like you get nicked up and bruised up enough, and once you're done digging, when you've had enough, all right, let's go to work, or you can keep digging, I guess. But
Yeah.
I was ready to go to work.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you were. I'm glad to see, you kicking butt.
Kicking butt, yeah.
Your business has definitely grown a lot since we first met. And you mentioned not wanting to grow the business more,
Yeah.
and this is the sweet spot. Did you have that vision of growth?
Oh, of growth?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to be huge.
yeah.
as it started to grow, I was like, all right, because I love the game, like business. I love the game, and I'm like, all right, yeah, in 5 years I'll have this many employees, and then 5 years later I'll have that many employees, and I wanted to be huge. I would say about 2019, the plan was to be about in 2019, the plan for now was to be about 30 strong. Um, but man, AI has just made it to where we get so much done with these 10. I don't I don't need to hire anybody else. And we've got, you know, a lot of work right now, but it's completely we can handle it because AI has like trimmed the time it takes to do certain things and made us way more efficient with just these 10 people. So I don't know that I can't even imagine hiring somebody in the next 12 months. Like, for what? AI is just going to do that. I know.
I got you. And do you think, and I know I kind of know your thoughts, but tell our listeners,
Yeah.
how you feel about AI in general. Should all businesses be using AI? Do you think it's, you know, the inevitable future?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm going to date myself, but like, I remember when the internet came around, right? I was a kid, but I remember it. And I remember people being like, oh, it's a fad. Like, oh, it'll fade away, blah, blah, blah. It sure didn't. The same is true with this. Like, it's not going anywhere. It's smarter and faster today than it was yesterday. And that'll continue, right? It's going to continue to get smarter. It's going to continue to get ingrained in every aspect of our lives. So, yeah, you can hop on um, or ignore it. And if you ignore it, you're going to get left behind. That's business, that's personal. Um, I would, I would, I would tell people to play with it in both capacities. So what I mean is like we use it for business all day long. I mean, all day long it's being used. Um, but even at home, I got a piece of sod in my yard that wasn't really taking. I built a new house and sod wasn't really taking. I took a picture of it, like, hey, what do I do with this? And it says, I'm following those instructions, and now I'm getting little grasslings, popping up. I'm like, okay, all right, next, right? Like,
I love it.
yeah, like I'm using it for everything. Whereas, could I have figured that out by Googling it? Yeah, it would have taken longer. It would have taken way longer, and then go further back. Could I have figured that out by looking in an encyclopedia? Yeah, it would have taken longer. I'm just so much more efficient because I'm leveraging that technology, right? Everybody needs to.
I agree. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I know you know about how I just got married,
Yeah.
and thank you.
Yeah.
And some people have been flabbergasted when I told them I used AI to plan my whole honeymoon. Like,
Oh,
quite
of
literally.
course.
I mean, there was a couple of things that we had to hit, some reservations, some tickets that we knew we had to buy in advance, so we just bought it. But, you plug in everything, your flights, your hotels, where you want to stay, what vibe you want. If there's a certain number of reviews that you want, 5 stars, whatever it is, you just plug that all in and it pops it out.
That's right. Could you have done that yourself? Yeah. But how long? How long?
I can't imagine. I can't imagine, Chris, how long that would take.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I love it. I hadn't thought about that because it wasn't around when I went on my honeymoon.
Yeah.
Right. But you can absolutely use it for that. I'll give you a funny one.
Yeah.
All right. When I started dating my wife, I got her the Pandora bracelet, with the charms. And so now, birthday, anniversary, Christmas, it's pretty routine that I'll get her a charm, right? She's got 2 bracelets now because they're filling up, right? It's it's common for me to accidentally get her a charm that I have already gotten her. It's happened 3 times. I'll be all excited, show them over, so like, thanks, I already have this one. You gave this to me 3 summers ago, like whatever. So I took a picture of all the charms that I bought her. And now when I go to buy one, I just ask Chad, like, yo, do I own this one yet? And it's like, nope, you're good.
Amazing.
Bro.
Amazing.
Amazing, man.
So you have it trained to be your assistant, personal and professional now?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Yeah, like I get a daily brief on, who's on my calendar the next day, travel time, weather, what I should wear, right? And then I get a second brief the day before a meeting. So like yesterday, I got one because your email address is on the calendar invite.
Yeah.
So yesterday, I got one on you. So it said like, who is Patrick Iyampillai, and it had details about Hale Law and stuff like that. I get that the day before a meeting, just to kind of prep.
Incredible.
Yeah, man.
How'd you learn all of this stuff about AI?
Self-taught. Like
Yeah.
I'm just researching and playing, and that's why I encourage everybody to just play with it. Because once you start seeing what it's capable of, then you start thinking about other things in your day to day that it can start to make more efficient. Right, like every day I have to look at who's on my calendar tomorrow, and do at least a little bit of research. Like, is this a new client? Is this a colleague? Is it a meet and greet? Is it a podcast? Right, like I need to at least be prepared. How much time can I save if I didn't have to do that? If I could just read a one sheet, how do I make that happen? And I'm just working reverse engineering.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah,
I needed to hear this, Chris. I needed this for my personal life
yeah,
because business, we got it down. I do it for cases. We built it into our software. You
yeah,
click a button and every single detail comes together in one sheet. If I just need a quick review
of
for
course.
deep dives, you do the deep dives.
You got to do it yourself.
But,
Yeah,
for a quick summation, bam, it's there. So we integrated AI in cases and marketing, but yeah, personal. I'm quite behind.
oh,
But
okay. Yeah, man. Just literally think about like, my wife uses it to like take a picture and like, does this bag work with these shoes?
ah,
And it'll say, where are you going? And she'll say, I'm going to this type of event. And he'll say, oh yeah, you could, but you could also do this. And it'll give her a suggestion. Like, bro,
that's fair.
everything. Use it
I'm
for
gonna
everything.
use that.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Cocktail party. I still don't know what that really means. Like, what do you
Where
wear?
do you wear? Right. Even that, like I've been like, babe, does this look good? And she's like, I think let's run it through chat.
Oh, I love
You know?
it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I still think people who are not embracing AI are going to get left behind in business. Now, personal,
Yeah.
the sky's the limit as long as you stay on top of it
Yeah.
and research things. I think a lot of law firms are getting left behind.
Yeah, I would imagine, and I bet a lot of them are scared of like the implications. But I think the way that you put it was right. The deep dives I got to do myself, but you could take that deep dive you did a month ago and refresh yourself today on all that, right? Like
Exactly.
because you did it a month ago, are you supposed to remember that today? Ugh, here's the cliff notes. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
And you work better too,
You
right?
do, yeah. You're more efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Incredible. Incredible. Now, we know AI strategies huge for digital marketing for everything.
yeah.
Um, what would you say is another digital marketing strategy that you know businesses like myself could use
Law firms.
that's going on right now? Yeah, how
Oh
about law
man,
firms?
there's so many, and it really depends on the law firm and the practice area, the competition, and the law firm size. So here's what I mean. You guys are large enough to where, like, I see your billboards, I see you on TV. Those things are practical. They work. Like always going to work, right? I see pay per click ads. That's a great way too. But those pay per click ads, they get pricey.
Pretty expensive.
Right. So like a law firm that's a couple years in, they're not in a position to invest in those avenues. So the route for them might be more social media. The route for them might be more long term, like SEO. That's a long term play. Um, if I was to give advice to that type of law firm, I would say to invest in at least what we're calling answer engine optimization. Because I'll tell you, I can't tell you the last time I went to Google. Like
Right.
when I have a need, I'm picking up my device and I'm asking ChatGPT or Perplexity.ai. I'm not often going to Google, and that's happening for a lot of consumers. So I would tell law firms to invest in making sure that they are the answer that comes out of that ChatGPT or Perplexity or AI's mouth. Um, and then they can grow, and then when they get to your size of success, then they can be on TV and streaming and billboards and stuff like that. But just depends on a lot of different factors.
It's amazing advice. Would you have given the same advice 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
To you guys?
No, to anybody.
Oh,
To anybody.
no, but I'll explain why. When GPT first was coming on the scene, you could get like content out of it. I don't think anybody was looking at it as like an answer engine, right? Like think about 3 years ago and you had like cold symptoms. You go to like Google and you type in your symptoms and you get WebMD and it would tell you you're gonna die or whatever. Like that was the process. But now people will go into GPT like, hey, I'm dealing with this. What do you think? Like I don't think people realized back then that you could do that, and maybe you couldn't. Like it's gotten smarter and stronger over the years. So no, it wouldn't have been the same. I would have said 3 years ago more investing in video. Yeah. But you gotta go where the audience is.
And the technology just keeps changing.
It does.
So what do you think about 10 years from now? Maybe 10, 15 years from now, are people just not going to use Google anymore, you think?
I think Google's got to evolve, and they're starting to. You see like answers in their search results, so they're gonna have to evolve. I don't know that, but I can tell you my thoughts on the future are like wild, bro. I don't know how much time we got.
Let's dive into those a little bit. I think we got a little time.
Okay, look, I think that we're conditioned to wearing devices and getting notifications and not being dependent on our phones. And I think that it's an inevitable evolution that we're here. They're already conditioning us to wear like you guys got the VR headset?
We got the Meta glasses at the firm now.
Yeah, we have the Meta.
Yeah.
Quest. We have the Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're conditioning us for that. It would only make sense that this is the next step where my notification is here. I don't have to wear this guy. And then the inevitable next step is a contact lens. Right. Mm-hmm. Imagine you just got married, right?
Yeah.
Where's a store that you and your wife like to shop?
A store we both like to shop at.
Like retail.
Retail. Where do we go? We don't do much shopping together. Right. I guess we both like Lulu.
Lulu. Yeah. Okay. In the UTC mall.
Yeah.
Okay. So you walk in, women's is on the left, right? Men's is kind of on the right.
Yeah.
Men's section kind of tiny because, it's mostly a women's section.
Right.
Okay. So imagine you both walk in there and there's a sale on an item that you've searched for because there's an inevitable marriage of data of you searching for something and it being right connected to your device or to right. So imagine you walk in and now an item that you've been looking for is on sale, not for everybody, just for you. And in your glasses, you see that it's on sale. There's a dot right here. This is the item you've been looking for. But she walks in and an item she's been looking for is on sale. Back here in the corner. Here's how you can get here. Imagine. Wouldn't that be valuable?
It'd be amazing. I'd love more sales.
All the data sets are there. Yeah. So there's an inevitable marriage of that data set. We know that. Like, ask Mark Zuckerberg. That data is going to get collected and sold at some point. And when that happens, I think that that's where we're at. I know it's crazy, but...
No, I don't think it's crazy at all. It's exactly what I've been thinking. Man, I took the Meta glasses with me to my honeymoon. Guilty. I had to. And it was just incredible not having to take out the phone. You're distracted. Everything's just right there in your eyes. Just right now it's just photos and video. But, Google's already previewed their next iteration is going to have the Google Maps in the lens. And, it was nice to hear, hey, turn here, turn there. But in Europe, all the streets are really tiny.
Yeah.
Stop doing that after a while, getting lost. But with the map, it's going to be insane.
Yeah, I love my Quest. I didn't take it on my honeymoon.
Yeah.
But I like that I can work with it. Like it's got my desktop. Yeah. And I can sit and work with it. It's inevitable.
Inevitable.
Yeah, man.
100%. Can't agree more. Gosh, we talked about business, talk about AI. Let's talk about giving back because you do a lot of that.
Yeah.
I kind of want to wrap it up there. So talk to us about all of your initiatives right now, because I know you just added one to your plate
Yeah.
of giving back.
Yeah. So I am the current chair of the board at the Salvation Army, Manatee County. Um, and that one is special to me. You know, when I was on the street, I ate with the Salvation Army, and so when I started to give back, it was the first place I wanted to give back to. Um, I'm a board member at Better Together, and the Lakewood Ranch Business Alliance. And then, yeah, man, I just joined up with Men Wear Pink, to raise funds for American Cancer Society. So I'm excited about that. I didn't own any pink stuff, so now I've been shopping for pink stuff.
Nice.
All right, yeah. So that should be fun. It's my first year doing that, and yeah, and I'm excited about it.
Amazing. First thing that I had come to my mind, did AI give you more time to
Bro,
join yet another organization?
it's funny, the Men Wear Pink thing was just like you can kind of put it out there and let people, donate. There's a couple of
Sweet.
commitments, I think 4 over the course of the year. So I was like, all right, yeah. But to that point, like I have told my wife, like I won't say yes to anything else. Like, I'm gonna stop adding stuff. But listen, man, I feel like, entrepreneurs, right? Like if you're having success, I think you're only having it because the community is supporting you. And so isn't it our like duty, like our responsibility to give back to that community that's supporting us? Because it doesn't happen unless the community supports us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's kind of my mindset.
Yeah, I love us giving back. We've got our Hale Helps
That's
initiative,
right.
giving back there. Now I'm doing bar association stuff, so the County Bar Association, Manatee County Bar Association. I'm the Young Lawyers Division president, and I'm doing teen court
Teen
as
court.
well.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so, yeah, my wife has told me I can't join anything else, or
You're cut off, man.
I'm cut off.
Really?
Cut off.
Yeah.
I can't agree more. It's so important for us to give back.
No,
We're
perfect.
so fortunate.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's incredible. How did you feel about joining Salvation Army after your experiences there coming full circle?
You know what? So I just wanted to serve dinner. Like I was just a volunteer for, well, not just, it's an important role, but like I was a volunteer from 23, a kitchen volunteer from 23 to 2017. That's all I did was work in the kitchen. As the business began to grow, they just asked like, "Hey, would you be interested in joining the board?" And I was like, "All right, yeah, sure." It would provide me a chance to have the same or better, greater impact with less time on site, right? Manatee County Salvation Army during season, that's a solid hour from here. You know what I mean? So I jumped at that opportunity and funnily enough, funnily, I don't know if that's a word. Um, in 2020, coming out of COVID or in the midst of COVID, they asked if I would be chair, and I audibly laughed. I thought she was joking. But I took on the challenge. I've been chair ever since. Don't want to be chair forever, but I'm building something, and it's a great honor first. But second, man, you serve on nonprofit boards. Like the majority of board members are like successful business people, affluent members of society, politicians, judges, great individuals, but they don't have the perspective that I have. Like they've never been on the other side of the food line. You know what I mean? So I feel like I've been able to bring a fresh set of eyes and initiatives to the organization.
That's great.
Yeah, thanks.
Do you have any events or anything you want to shout out to our listeners and viewers?
Sponsor me, Men Wear Pink. Find me on LinkedIn. um, no, that's probably it. I really gotta. I've raised this many dollars, so I've got to like kick it into gear here in this next month and start raising funds. But on the Salvation Army side, like just continue to give. Um, it, with the Salvation Army, over 95% of the funds that are donated go to the clients. It's incredible. Like they stretch every penny. So, man, continue to give to the Salvation Army, whether that's food, whether that's financially. Just continue to support because with the rising cost of living here in South Florida, the need is really great.
Well, I can't wait to collaborate with one of your great organizations again at some point. And, hopefully a lot of our listeners and viewers, I can't imagine we have many.
You've got our nuns, man.
Or, hopefully your name will help bring those to the table. And for anyone new, they're going to learn what I know. You're extremely humble.
Man,
You're extremely intelligent.
appreciate you.
You're extremely personable and down to earth. And yeah,
Likewise.
I just really appreciate every time we run into each other.
I know it's less and less now. Though I gotta catch you in the hallway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And we got to go golfing again.
Yeah, man. It's been a couple years, hasn't it?
Yeah, time is flying by.
Yeah. Not anytime soon though. It's like 100 degrees out.
Yeah, it's
September, October. Let's do it.
Sounds good to me.
All right, bro.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming out, Mr. Chris Williams. And thanks for all of our viewers for listening, for tuning in. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe. Comment if you wish. And until then, just remember, go to Hale.